What is up, RotoGrinders? 2 hours of non-stop NBA DFS conversation starts right now, taking you all the way. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but I had my audio on for the YouTube, so I was hearing myself talk to myself. So my apology for that intro. Chop, 2 hours, 9 games as far as DraftKings, 11 games on the FanDuel slate. A little bit different. The FanDuel's got the Lakers, and the Lakers are hurting. No LeBron, of course. Now there's no Luka. Last night they played. They are without 2 more players that played last night. Marcus Smart is out. Gabe Vincent's out. We saw Austin Reeves drop the 50-piece nugget. I feel like we've had several SGA. Did he get this year? There's like 4 or 5 guys this season so far that have dropped the 50-piece. I feel like that's happening more often in a small sample. The basketball has been awesome so far this season, especially the primetime stuff. Of course, there's off-the-court stuff that probably has not been so great from a marketing perspective, but we don't care about that in DFS. We care about, just taking down some contests, plenty of body parts, despite the fact that it's early in the season. No Ant's out for the next couple of weeks. He's not playing tonight. Plenty of teams, a pile of teams playing on the back half of back-to-back as well. We'll get into all that. I think it's like 9 in total, 3 on the front end. It's a Peacock slate, Peacock doubleheader, Cleveland, Detroit, Denver, Minnesota. Bummer for Peacock. There is no Ant. We're monitoring Jaylen Brown. That's a big one. And a midday downgrade for Zion Williamson. Chop, how are you doing? Are you doing all right? You look like you're struggling. You okay?
Yeah, I'm struggling, but I'm here, man. I'm going to power through it, Dean.
Are you hurting?
Well, every once in a while, every couple of months or so, I'll get to doing something and I won't be aware of what I'm doing, and I'll bend down and I'll twist the wrong way, and I'll get the herniated disc in my back. It pops out and gets a little bit inflamed, and then I have to deal with it for about 5 or 6 days. So that happened yesterday, but it's all good. Ice it up and get back out there, man.
You were officially questionable for the show with a disc, but you're going to give it a go. We appreciate that.
No, never questionable. Always probable. But, now just because I'm probable doesn't mean you're getting my grade A effort. I'm out
Bet
there.
your under is what you're saying. Bet the under on Chop.
I'm out there. I'm being used more as a decoy, but I'm here though.
It's just a 2-man show. This isn't like a 3-man booth where we can throw you in the corner like PJ Tucker. Your usage is going to get ramped up, Chop. Get excited, buckle up, because you're taking a lot of shots the next hour and change. I see chat. Tim hanging out in chat. He's in the bullpen, jumping in there with, I think, Kirkwood, as well as TastefulTides, as well as chief meteorologist Kevin Roth, going to be holding it down. I'm not sure if you saw the story of Roth earlier in the year. I think it was the first slate of the year. He would have won, I think, $200K if he played his lineup in the contest he was going to be playing it in. But he did have a massive ROI night, turn $1 into $100. He had basically the best lineup possible on opening night. But
quick story behind that one, Dean.
Okay, what do you got?
That was my only crunch time I've ever done at least first crunch time in the last like 2-3 years.
Oh, you were on the show with him.
I'm the one who gave him Şengün, man.
That's right.
He said, play Şengün, bro. Don't hesitate.
I had him in single entry that night, and I had him at like 3% or 5%. It was something ridiculous. Whenever you can get Şengün at 3% on a 2-game slate, like, what are we doing? Just to take your chances for sure. Any big thoughts, overarching thoughts as far as the slate tonight? Again, there's a ton of teams: Boston, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Dallas, Detroit, the Lakers, Minnesota, Portland, the Spurs, Toronto, all those teams on the back half of a back-to-back. Some of them, I think, in the midst of a 3 and 4 nights. Golden State, OKC, Philadelphia, all on the front end. And again, there's midday downgrade for Zion suggests to me he's not playing. I think the slate flips on its head at least once, possibly twice. I think there's a pretty good chance Jaylen Brown also doesn't play for Boston. And then, we're going to be looking at, Derek White is going to take a pile of shots, as well as Peyton Pritchard, and then some darts like Sam Hauser or things of that sort. I was looking at our if-then stuff. But you have any big thoughts before I dive in and go game by game? Wemby is he's taking the lead. He's just out of his mind. It's just completely insane. His MVP number opened the season like 12-1 or 11-1. And after 2 games, I think he's 3-1. and I'm not sure where it is now, but so good. And they say he got taller. He might be taller now. And that San Antonio team is really interesting because, Dylan Harper looks like he could be good. There's a lot of young pieces. We'll see if they make kind of trades, if they force anything like that. And we haven't seen Fox just yet. And I don't know if Fox really fits this team. I don't know if he's somebody that necessarily makes sense going forward with Wemby, but I guess that's more of a basketball conversation than a DFS conversation. But yeah, Chop, anything overarching that you want to point out before we fully dive in?
Nope. You're going to probably ask me that every show for the NBA for the next 6 months, and I'm going to tell you no. We just go by the slate. We just play. I don't even know. We go game by game here or position by position. I have no idea, man.
We go game by game. Yeah, we're going to go game by game here, Chopper. I don't know if we're going to get to because it's weird. DK said, okay, 9:30. Yeah, 9:30 you're on the slate. Of course. Yeah. Why wouldn't we include that? 10:30. No. We cannot include the 10:30 games. So
I'll tell you what, Dean. Funny you should mention that. Number one, they did something similar on Friday. I like it when they cut off the really late games.
I do too.
Like they did on Friday. I like that. So I wish they kind of would have, they could have got rid of this. Which one is it? The Minnesota-Denver game. You could even crush the Phoenix-Utah if you want to. I could care less about. Give me the first 7 games. That would have been nice. But also, Dean, I don't know if if you are a forward-looking schedule guy, but I am. There's a Central Time, a 10 p.m. kickoff, a tip-off now. Moving for some of these games moving forward, I think they don't want the Peacock games to overlap or something like that. So we're going to actually not even 9:30's not even the latest game we're going to get this year. We're going to get some 10 o'clock tip-offs, which is 11 Eastern Standard Time. That's crazy. Whatever.
Yeah. Portland Lakers 10:30 East Coast time, local time 7:30. And it does make sense. DK includes, I guess, the back half of the Peacock doubleheader, I suppose. That's where the cutoff was, Denver and Minnesota. But they did cut off Memphis and Golden State. That's FanDuel only, as well as Portland and the Lakers. Okay, let's just dive in, Chop. Let's do it. Let's go game by game. 2 early games, 2 games in that 7 o'clock window, and then we chill for an hour. Josh Giddey, another player, he's got a finger. He's got 10, but 1 hurts, so he is questionable. Keeping an eye on that one. That's another big potential injury. Okay, Cavs and Detroit. 231.5 is a total. It's pretty high. It's tight. The Pistons are, 2.5-point dogs here. Taking a peek at the injury report as far as who's in and who's out for this one. Pulling it up here on the fly. Yeah, no Lonzo. Lonzo, I think this is a back-to-back related. Lonzo Ball played yesterday, not playing the back-to-back. We're still not seeing Max Strus. He's going to be gone for a while. No Darius Garland as far as Detroit. We've yet to see Jaden Ivey. He's out. Karis LeVert officially questionable, as well as Marcus Sasser. And I mentioned Jaden Ivey out as well. But there's certainly some studs here you can spend up on here in the early window for the 7 o'clock games. If that's your thing, if you're power ranking the stars. I don't know if I prioritize any of these guys. I think Mobley will be my favorite amongst this bunch. Looks like Asar Thompson's taking a bit of a leap this year as well. Jalen Duren had a really weird start to the season where one game he got into incredible foul trouble. That's just kind of what he does. The next game he got ejected, and that's what he does as well. And the third game he took on Boston, and Boston cannot rebound the ball. Worst rebounding team in basketball. They're going to be, if not the worst, bottom 2, bottom 3. I think Sacramento's right there as well. He got loose in his last game, back half of back-to-back for both these teams. How do you see the Cavs and the Pistons?
Yep, early game. On the surface, this looks like a defensive struggle. I mean, Detroit is a menace to play against, and Cleveland, they have, when they're healthy, they have the size, to make it very difficult to get inside. Also, so on paper, it's a kind of a tough game to really fall in love with DFS wise, but that's not to say that a guy like Evan Mobley can't always go out there and deliver like a big time game. You mentioned the Thompson twin, the Detroit style Thompson twin. He just fits right in with that mid-range build. If that's what you want to do, if you want to bypass maybe Jokic and Wemby and those guys and do just a nice little mid-range. I look for guys like that in the mid range for those kind of builds. Cheaper price tag in the low sixes with a nice like 30 plus point projection, but with room to grow in that. If you get in this case defensive stats for him, sometimes that's a jump shooter and you're hoping to get hot, but in his case you're looking to rack up some defensive stats. I think Thompson's in play, Dean. But my favorite player from this game, and I don't know if he's going to make my lineup. It's only running one lineup tonight, right? So Monday Night Football. I got to do another show after this, by the way. Monday Night Countdown show.
Who we captain tonight?
Pre-lock show. So I'm only doing one lineup, and I don't know if he's going to make it. But Sam Merrill, I feel like that's some pretty decent little value there. I don't mind Sam Merrill. He should get a little boost with the Cleveland injuries that's going on right now. And, but, like I said, it's not enough to jump off the page to where it's a stone cold lock. But I just think, for the price tag part of it, probably my favorite player from the game.
I think 7 o'clock game, Chop, first game on the slate, more injury stuff coming in. I think you can do better than Sam Merrill. I think more stuff's going to come on through. But I hear you. He's projected to play 28 minutes. Currently, 2 players projected in double digits on DK right now. Mobley, 14%. Asar at 11%. A lot more popular on FanDuel, where Mobley's cheaper than he is on DK at 8.5, almost 30% ownership, as well as Asar Thompson at 20%. We didn't talk about Cade, but you can always play Cade, obviously. And Duran's also getting 13% on FanDuel. A good price for Duran. I think it's 5.9. I don't necessarily love the matchup versus Cleveland as far as the bigs, but they're also going to need him. They're going to need his side. They're going to need his girth for sure against just like Javonte Williams used his girth yesterday. Shout out to your Cowboys. All right, game number 2, Chop. The other 7 o'clock game. It is the Magic and the Sixers. 227.5 is the total of the Magic. They are 7-point favorites here in Philly. Philly, they are thin. They're without Barlow, the big. Joel Embiid. He's not playing on this is the back half. This is a front half of back-to-back for Embiid. Paul George still has that knee. Jared McCain, he's got a thumb. So he's not playing basketball this evening. As far as Orlando, they're as healthy as we've seen. I don't think we've seen Moritz, Mo Wagner all season long. So yeah, Orlando is healthy. Suggs is back as well. Orlando and Philly. Chop, you're a college basketball guy. I'm not. So I didn't know what to expect out of VJ Edgecombe, but he looks legit, man. It's 3 games. This dude looks like for real. I know he's a top pick, but 3rd pick overall, I believe. So it's not terribly surprising, but it's happening pretty quickly. Is he somebody we like tonight? Do we like Edgecombe? He still feels like he's probably too cheap, I think. We'll see where he settles.
How was the guy saying, you know what, after Cooper Flag, I think you should take VJ Edgecombe. I think VJ Edgecombe is the guy after Cooper Flag. That was me, Dean. I said it on the show. I said it on the show. Probably Dylan Harper to the Spurs.
San Antonio.
Yeah, Harper. I still think Edgecombe, because Edgecombe can be a two-way player, man. He can be a defensive juggernaut also. So, yeah, we'll see how it all plays out, though. We've also seen Michael Carter. Was it Michael Carter that had the incredible rookie year for Philly?
MCW, his very first game, had a triple-double.
Michael Carter Williams. He was great his rookie year, and then just a complete busto. So you never know. I'm not going to count the chickens, but yeah, I still think there's meat on the bone for Edgecombe. He's at 6,800. Now you're playing without Embiid, they already want to fly up and down the court, and now you get rid of that little anchor around their ankles in Embiid, who's not even jumping off the ground this year anymore. So they'll really push the pace here if they can.
It's so over for Embiid. It's so over.
It is. He's cooked. And that's fine. Well, it happens. But at least they got a nice starting spot for a little, not a rebuild, but like a little refresh with this backcourt. It's a good backcourt. So
yeah,
Maxey is awesome. 9,300. I still think with Embiid out, that's more shots and more pace that they're going to be able to play at. Yeah, I like Maxey. Even in a tougher defensive matchup, like Maxey quite a bit. Edgecombe's fine, like I said. No Embiid means Bona's probably going to play a little more. He's 3,800. it's okay. I don't think he's necessarily, at least in college, he wasn't like known as an offensive guy. He's more of a defensive guy. So I don't know what you're going to get. But for 38, if you want to do the build where you go Wemby and maybe even another guy up in the higher price range, you're going to need a guy like Bana, so you can go that route. And rounding out this game on the flip side, Wendell Carter Jr. going against an Embiidless inside for Philly should do pretty well. So Wendell Carter, probably my favorite Orlando guy, and Philly, just because of the value they have on this team. I could see those three guys I mentioned being played. I didn't even mention Drummond, but Drummond's kind of like, he's not the same Drummond he used to be with when the starter was out, and you used to be, he's going to get 40 points now because that's what he does.
He might be better than Bona, though. I think he's a better upside play than Bona, and they're probably going to chop the 48 minutes.
He is.
I was going to mention Drummond, and he had a big game, 16 minutes against Charlotte, and I think he basically played the entire fourth, if I'm not mistaken. Embiid had his 20-minute cap, and he used it up pretty quickly. I would play Drummond before I play Bona if I'm playing one of those.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree with that.
So do want to mention the FanDuel stuff because the prices on FanDuel, Grimy is 35% ownership because he's down to 4.8. That isn't fully adjusted. It's tricky on FanDuel, one center, and one center only. So, Drummond is 3.8, but if he gives you quote unquote value, like 23 points at 3.8, probably doesn't get you there. Obviously you got to make up the difference elsewhere. Edgecombe is, somebody in chat asked Buzeos or Edgecombe on FanDuel. I think the answer is Edgecombe, unless maybe if Giddey is out, then it might become Buzeos. Do you have a thought on that?
It's Edgecombe right now. Yeah, Edgecombe has a lot of upside, man. So I'd go Edgecombe right now, unless the injuries dictated otherwise later.
See if there's any news trickling on through. Brandon Miller's diagnosed with a shoulder
subluxation.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
I don't think so. How much is that? What is the subluxation?
Yeah, I don't know. Moving on, Dean. Here's the big injury for you that just dropped, Dean.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz out for the year.
Oh, okay. And JJ McCarthy is gonna like the Kevin Nash gift. Like all of a sudden he's gonna come out of the wheelchair and he's fine.
Man, they better hope. They better hope so. They better hope.
Fine, right? That's the.
I don't know.
The longest.
They need a quarterback. That's a heck of a wasted pick if he's a busto like it seems like.
You think they're having regrets they didn't keep Darnold?
Darnold's pretty smooth, man.
It's weird, yeah. Yeah, he was pretty good last year. Obviously, it didn't end well in the playoffs, but he's a good quarterback manager, if you want to say that. It's kind of sort of somewhat insulting, and he's winning games there in Seattle, or not losing them, I guess you can say. Producer Steve's chiming in and said McCarthy is definitely a bust. Definitely, he's played like 3 games. One of them was like a day after he had a child, wasn't it? I don't know. I have no idea if he's good or not, but I'm just not ready to say it.
He wasn't even good in college.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole nother subject, ain't it, Dean?
I know he played for Michigan, but I don't know. Was he not? Chop, can you confirm?
I had my doubts about him coming into the NFL. They just never let him throw in college. So I just figured if Jim Harbaugh won't even let you throw in college, how good can you really be? But I mean, then I listened to all the people with the spreadsheets. He's so young, and he did this at the combine. So yeah, he's going to be great. Sometimes none of that stuff matters. It matters what you do on the field. It's like the other day when I doing the show with Maddock. He still won't admit. Props to him for digging in, but they still won't admit that in a redraft, you probably maybe should consider taking Tyler Warren over Loveland. Maybe, but no. Oh no, he's 2 years younger. He's 25 months younger. So we gotta go with Loveland. No, one guy is a freaking ball player. The other guy we don't know about.
What's a bird in the hand, if nothing else, situation, right? I mean, we know Warren is good. We don't know Loveland's going to be good. He might, but yeah, But Loveland was taken. How much ahead of Warren was he taken? I know he's taken ahead of him.
He was several spots ahead. He was the first tight end. Warren was number 2 tight end. So that's all you need to know, Dean. But Yeah, crazy stuff out there. Lots of stuff. I forget what I was just about to.
I liked your Matic impression, by the way. That was pretty good. You committed.
That wasn't that good, but I need to. That wasn't a Matic impression. That was more of a nerd impression. But
you were not summoning your inner Matic.
I need to work on the Matic. Matic's more of a skater dude.
Are you with Matic tonight?
No, me and TJ.
Okay. Do we already have a plum play for the people? You want to tease them as far as
Kansas City? Teasing my plums, no sir. You got to tune in to see my plums, Dean.
Does it happen organically? I don't know if you have a plan. Does it?
You gotta tune in and pay the price, which is one like when you jump in there. You pay the price to see my plum. You got to sit for the whole show. This is like OnlyFans for DFS. You got to sit through the whole show to get the good stuff at the very end.
All right. Next game, we have an hour break. So after the 2 7 o'clock games, we have an 8 o'clock game. I would argue, well, I shouldn't say I would argue. I think it's okay. Is there anybody we have to play? I'm just trying to think, like, if we don't have news on Zion, if we don't have news on Jaylen Brown, right? Are we okay playing nobody for that window, those 2 games? If something else might happen too, you never know. It's the association. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Just like waiting an hour and buy yourself some time and hopefully possibly getting some news you can react on, as opposed to being locked in on fine plays, but not necessarily exceptional plays.
Yeah, that's fine, Dean. It's all relative, and there's so much variance in this stuff. Why not? Like, if that's what makes you feel better, then go for it if that's what you want to do. Like I've said this before on this particular show, the NBA show, like, there are times I look up and I look at the 3-game slate at the end of the night that I played, as opposed to the main slate. And I look up and the 3-gamer outscored my main slate team, because that's just the way the games go sometimes. So yeah, you can do that, or you can reverse it on them, Dean, and just play nothing but the early stuff and hope there is no injury news that doesn't really, or the injury news that does come out ends up being a total bust, like it is sometimes, and those players don't pay off. And you crushed them with, the Philly guys going crazy without Embiid or something like that.
You also have the added value of, take a screenshot, post it on Twitter. I'm in first place. You know what I mean? Like, people don't know. I think that hours later, they don't know.
You also have, on top of that, you have the added value, Dean, of you got your team going. The starters. You got everything confirmed. And now you can just sit back and watch The Voice while everybody else is going back and forth to their computer 4 or 5 more times throughout the night.
Are you watching The Voice, Joe?
Why not? I watch a little Voice amongst other things, Dean. I'm right now on any given night, we'll flip. Me and my wife, when it's that time for us to both sit down and watch, we'll flip between The Voice, all recorded, obviously. I'm not watching it live. We're just now kicking off the latest season of Jersey Shore Family Vacation.
No, they're still doing that?
Oh, yeah. And
then it's like 20. Doing Jim Tan laundry. We're still doing it?
I mean, we like it. It's entertaining, the situation. DJ Pauly D. And then also a third show that we kick in every couple of nights is they got this cool little show on Apple. It's called Acapulco, Dean. I don't know. It's a nice little comedy. It's a nice little refreshing show, man. Acapulco. I don't mind it at all. We like it.
Where's
funny.
that?
I think it's on Apple TV, but you could Google it.
Can you tell me one person that won The Voice and used that as a platform?
The Voice is not American Idol, no, but it's entertaining. But it's I particularly like the blind auditions. I like to I like when they're forming their teams. Once it gets into the live rounds, I'm a little bit more tuned out then. But I like the blind auditions.
I'm aware of the concept, the chairs they spin and all that, but I've never actually watched.
It's like opening some baseball cards. The odds are that you're not going to get anything, but you never know. You might see the next big time performer out there for the first time. You never know.
Next game. It's high. It's tight. It's the Hawks and the Bulls. 242.5 is the total. It's a big boy total, and the Bulls are 2.5 point dogs here. Also, we may get some added value from some body parts being out. We talked about Josh Giddey's finger. He's officially questionable. We know Kobe White has not played yet this year. He's got that calf. Zach Collins also out with what does he have? A left scaphoid? Scaffold. I think it's a scaffold. And Atlanta, we don't know. Jalen Johnson's got an ankle. He's questionable. Kristaps Porzingis, he had the fish, not feeling particularly well, so he is questionable. And Zach Ricochet is also questionable. So it is tricky to discuss this. And I know we have like if-then stuff set up. I don't know if we have anything specific for. I think we have for Giddey. Yeah, our if-then stuff for Giddey would show that Trey Jones would look really, really good as a cheapie. Kevin Huerter would look really good as a cheapie. Those guys would be the two biggest benefactors if we happen to lose Giddey. I think he's going to play. Yes, like Huerter, Trey Jones, Ayo Dosunmu will be the guys that get the bumps if we happen to lose Giddey. It's tricky to say for Atlanta because there's three key pieces: Porzingis, Johnson, Ricochet. I think there's a decent chance they all play, Chop, but I don't know. And this is why, what if they don't? Then all of a sudden you have to react. But what can you do with this game as of right now? 3 hours before it starts. How do you feel about Atlanta and Chicago? It's a good environment, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's an exceptional environment as far as what Vegas is telling you. So you kind of got to take a look at it. Before the Atlanta side, I was prepared to earlier in the morning, prepared to tout Porzingis in this matchup against Chicago, who's, the numbers look good, but obviously very fake. So we're only a couple games into the year. They're not going to be a good interior defensive team or anything like that. So
can I tell you, Chop, to your point, in 2 games, they have the best defensive rating in basketball. It's the Bulls. You know who's at the fastest pace? I don't know if this is fake. You know who has the fastest pace?
A team
that historically is not fast.
Huh?
A team that historically does not play fast.
Okay, I know it, but I know they're not the fastest. The Spurs are way up there this year. The Pelicans are way up there. Man, I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
My local team, the Miami Heat.
No way.
They're playing at the fastest.
I wouldn't guess that one. I didn't see that one.
And they played a game against New York. They flew against Orlando. That game was humming. And it seems like a change of philosophy for Miami. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, it's early in the season. We'll see how this stuff shakes out. But yeah, the Bulls have the best defensive rating. They are playing at the 5th fastest pace as well. Spurs probably 2nd best defense. That's probably a little less fraudulent. But
we'll talk about them later.
Atlanta and Chicago. What do you got?
I was ready to go Porzingis, but man, anytime this guy is questionable on something, I can't play him because even if he plays, man, he will leave the game early. Like that's his MO. So I just can't do it, man. Even though I think if he was healthy, he'd be in for a pretty good spot here against Chicago at that price tag, but can't do it. So with all the uncertainty on Atlanta, I kind of don't know, but it's the Chicago side where you're kind of looking, and the Giddey thing will be a big, but with or without him, Bazulis is fine, really good, pretty decent, nice price tag. Exposure's up there as far as projected ownership. So you got that to worry about. He's 5,300, and you're looking at, I don't know. I kind of look at guys in little segments, 25 to 30 points, 30 to 35 points. What do you kind of like? What range are you probably going to fall in? He's in the 30 to 35 point range with a hint of upside for 5,300. Can't beat that. So that'd be my main guy from this game. But otherwise, we're waiting on Giddey. If Giddey plays, Giddey's good. If he doesn't, Trey Jones is good. Just kick back and
Kevin Huerter's good. Dosunmu's probably good.
They're solid. I don't think any of them have the upside of Jones or Bazulis.
It's a revenge game for Red Velvet. You don't care about that? It's not a first blood revenge game, but it is revenge.
If it's not first blood, I'm probably passing.
And if you want to make a little stack here, I don't mind it either. It seems like a fun game to potentially stack, especially if we lose some pieces. But again, we don't know that. That game is not tip-off for 2.5 hours or so. The new injury report should be coming out 5:30. I want to see if anything changes. Probably not just yet, but I am keeping an eye on such things. All right, so your Rockets, Chop, you got a bye tonight. The Rockets are taking on the Nets. 224.5 is the total. The Nets are 16-point dogs here. They're also in the back half of a back-to-back. who's in and who's out for this game. Well, Houston, obviously, if you miss, FEV's gone for the season, right? He's an ACL. I assume is there any hope he comes back for the playoffs? So we ruled that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He's not a guy who relies on his athleticism, so he's really just man. I don't think people estimated high enough what losing him was going to do to the offense. So it's a major difficult spot for the Rockets offense without a real point guard. You're trying to force guys to play point guard that really shouldn't be playing point guard. So it's hurt the offense in general, and they got to figure that out. And we're only 2 games into the year, so I'm sure that something will give. Maybe a trade is in the works. They cannot just sign a guy just for some reason. The cap numbers don't work for them like that.
Yeah, the aprons, and I don't know all the text.
Yeah, but I mean, I read about it, and they can't do it. They just flat out can't just sign. They were, people were saying, Westbrook, get Russell Westbrook. Can't do it. You couldn't pay Russell Westbrook $1 million a year, or else it would mess up something or another in the cap. That's fine. Maybe a trade, though. Maybe a trade's on the horizon. But Fred should come back at some point. But it's caused for the offense to be really, really porous because they just don't have a real true ball handler. So, but in this particular game, like you said, I don't want to say bye, but this is a get-right spot for this team to like 2 tough games to start the year. Now you get Brooklyn at home. So if I was running multiple lineups, I'd be tempted, Dean. Temptation would get me to plug in a rule, play Amin Thompson or Albernan Şengün in every lineup. Split them up over 100 lineups because one of these guys is going off tonight. You do have the Kevin Durant revenge, but I'm not even into that as much.
Does he remember even playing for Brooklyn?
Yeah, I don't. And Kevin Durant's kind of petty. I don't want to say.
I like Katie. I think he gets
love
a bad rap. Yeah, I don't know why. And he's got the craziest sliding doors. 3 or 4 different things could happen in his career that we'd have a totally different career, but we don't have time to get into. But
Giannis doesn't undercut Kyrie, he wins a championship guaranteed that year in Brooklyn on his own, and nobody can say anything else. Yeah, there was a lot of things that went on there.
So you're throwing Giannis under the bus.
Oh, did I? Whoa.
You're saying that was deliberate the way.
Well, we all saw the play that happened, and Giannis has since, we see what kind of person Giannis is since then. He's anything to win, and so
he's a good person.
He's a good human. He's a good human off the court, but on the court, he has a bad temper and anything to win. So he took it upon himself to end that series real quick. But the point is, I'm in Thompson, Şengün. I'd be looking at those guys as one of these guys is going to go off against Brooklyn because they're going to score points tonight. This is an offensive get-right spot for them. Weak interior for Brooklyn, so I would lean Şengün, but he's also over 2,000 more than Thompson, and Thompson hasn't filled the stat sheet like we know he can. It's only a matter of time. I think there's a lot of pressure on him trying to play point guard and stuff. So once he kind of relaxes and gets that under his belt, then he'll be fine. So he's also had a game where he cramped up and left the game. Another game where Jalen Duran hit him with an incredibly cheap elbow in the face, and I'm sure that had to alter the rest of the game for him. He probably had double vision, man. So he'll be all right.
Duran is strong, man. When those elbows from Duran's gonna really that's gonna wake you up for sure.
Yeah, I like either one of those 2 guys is my favorite spots in this game, but I don't, too tough of a defense to really mess around with Brooklyn here. Although Cam Thomas can always get hot, I don't want to. There's a lot of arms out there in your face on those 3-point shots with Houston's defense. So I'm sticking to Houston here, and I'm sticking to really Amin and Şengün.
If you think this game is somehow close, you play Cam Thomas, or it's just going to be a really low-scoring game and nothing's good. But I'm kind of with you. I don't think I'm playing anybody on Brooklyn. You want to tell yourself a story on Amin Thompson. This feels like a game where you can get 7 stocks against a reckless Brooklyn team. It's hard to predict those things, but it definitely feels like a spot where you can get 3 or 4 steals here. What do you got, Chop?
Sasser is out.
Yeah.
And Karis LeVert is out.
Yeah, I wanted to see. It's 30 minutes. I wanted to see where the minutes go, how much we care about that. It is 30 minutes to go around, and I'm not sure if we had an update in projections there just yet. No, but do you think that's going to matter? I guess it helps. It probably helps Oscar Thompson a little bit with LeVert being out, solidifies him.
You mean with Sasser being out?
LeVert.
I like my.
I guess both.
Here. I don't like. Who does?
Is there a benefactor really that's gonna? Who are we really gonna get excited about? I could just see a really tight rotation from Detroit. They probably want to win this. I mean, you always want to win, but it's this is the Peacock game, right? And you're against Cleveland, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I'm on Oscar Thompson already. I thought he was a good mid-range play for salary, and he's even better now.
I'm trying to see, like, Holland might get a few more minutes. I don't think I would play him though. I can see the rotation tightening up a little bit, but curious to see where our projection team lands. Like, we're already giving Thompson 31. Yeah, I mean 36 to Cunningham, of course. Yeah. Tobias Harris might be over for Tobias Harris. Might be over. And he's still sticking there.
He hasn't been good since Tennessee, since he played for Tennessee in college.
Wow. He's been in the pros for like 10 years.
Right. He had a year where he was like a double guy, so he had his moment.
I got a question for you about the Rockets. You think there's a chance that we get a Reed Shepherd game? There was speculation earlier in the year. Like, it wasn't assumed that they were going to go double barrel with the two big, Şengün and Adams. And we're projecting Steven Adams. But I can also see Shepherd, like, getting loose in this game as a blowout. He's probably the last name off the court. I can see him giving him a game to shine. I think he's kind of an interesting, more of like a deep field thought process. But I can see us being a Reed Shepherd game.
So here's the thing, Dean. It's the two games so far. OKC, just the most dreadful matchup in the league for him. Can't play him against OKC and expect him to be good. It's just a devastatingly bad matchup. That was game one. Game two, Detroit. I said it a minute ago. Detroit is a tough team to play against this year. They are pesky, man. They're good defense. Cade Cunningham, a lot of length out there. They're pesky, man. So I think he's had two tough matchups, and I think they are waiting for a spot for him.
This is
a nice landing spot for him to get him going, get his confidence up. This might be it. I think you might be onto something there, Dean, because, I've been thinking that once they get a good landing spot for him, they're going to, like, show him off a little bit. So I could see this being and if he can take over, and he's not a point guard. He's just not, man. He's not meant to be a point guard. Like, he's built like one, but he doesn't have those skills. But they're trying to force it. And if they do, maybe that takes also a little pressure off of Amen Thompson. They do a less ball handling and be more of a guy that fills the stats like we want him to. So I think it could help both guys. So I think you might be onto something there.
Boston and the Pelicans. This game could be the stack game if things fall a certain way. 231.5 is a total. It's also tight. Boston is a slight 1.5 point favorite here. Boston playing the back half of a back-to-back. Midday downgrade for Zion, which is kind of a bummer. That's never a good sign. Yves Missi is officially available. Expected to be available. No Kevon Looney. Makovich also available. Of course, no DeJounte Murray for New Orleans, not for a while. And Jaylen Brown is questionable in the back half of back-to-back. Legit, he's dealing with a hammy. I think there's a decent chance both these guys miss, and a lot of usage will be available to go around. Queen or Sadiq Bey will be guys that will be able to take advantage. Somebody's going to get to, a rebounding, a number that's not necessarily projected for New Orleans, because this Boston team is so bad. It's so bad on the glass, and like it's pretty obvious like why they lost all their Luke Cornett out the door, and Tatum and Porzingis and Al Horford. They just don't have any rebounders. Queta is there, but it's hard to get excited about Queta. But I don't know what to say about it right now because right now we're projecting all these guys in. But I think there's a decent chance we get some value here for Boston at New Orleans. What is your read? The best we can do at this point.
I like Kata. I don't know. You don't like him. You seem to snuff
He's
that fire.
fine. He's fine, but he's not cheap.
Boston's struggling to find somebody in the middle who can fill a void, and so maybe he's the guy that helps him out. It's a fast-paced game. I think that should help him out a little bit theoretically, and that's a weak interior defense for New Orleans too. So,
yeah,
all things considered, his price tag is fair. I don't mind Kata, so I can go that route.
He's better than Garza. He's better than Boucher. He's better than Tillman. They have such nonsense they're rolling out there. I guess he's the best of those guys.
So you got that going for you in this game. We're waiting on the Jaylen Brown. That would be a big one. Zion too. Yeah, you're right. This is a tough game to call right now. But assuming all those guys are in, Derek White's a guy I'm looking at. And on the flip side, this isn't. I mean, we've been sitting here the last couple of years going, oh, New Orleans against Boston. Yeah, don't really want to play a lot of guys against Boston. That's a stifling defense and stuff. That is not the case right now. So I think you can fully, open up your roster to anybody on New Orleans you feel good about, especially if we get Zion out. That'd be fantastic. So I think a lot of people are in play from this game. Peyton Pritchard, if things open up for Jaylen Brown being out, Peyton Pritchard becomes a good play. Still waiting on Simons. I thought he would be a really, really good fit with this team, but it's just so far.
Is White or Pritchard the better play? Who's more the priority?
White,
but he's more expensive, obviously. But I think White's the first one I want.
Derek White.
If we lose Brown, I mean, I think we have. I believe we have an if-then set up for this situation. Yeah, so if we happen to lose Brown, White's projection would jump to 44 DK, 42 FanDuel, Pritchard 37 DK, 35 FanDuel, and Simons. What's Simon's price? Is he some a bad price? I feel like his price is not very good.
64.
Yeah. I thought he'd be a little bit cheaper. Yeah, he would be projected around 30 fantasy points. Hauser might be another guy if you want to throw a flyer, but he's obviously super dependent on his three ball going in. And do we have a New Orleans? So Trey Murphy would be the guy I think that steps up for New Orleans. I think he's the obvious one. And if you want to, Jordan Poole is never really a fun ride, but in theory, Jordan Poole would have an opportunity there for the Pels.
Yeah. Would you say, Dean, that just on the surface, quick, 2 to 3 games into the season, there was that big trade in the offseason. Drew went to Portland. Simons came back to Boston. Some other stuff changed hands. Would you say Portland is actually – can you believe Portland might be the better team this year than Boston? That's crazy.
I mean, I think Portland was kind of like, if you're going to pick like what is this year's Pistons, what's the team that kind of like rises out of the nonsense? And it's really, really tough in the West. But there are some interesting pieces on Portland. And Holiday's been very good so far in a small sample. Like I thought they just draft, they're going to use him and trade him at some point. Kamara is a really good defensive player. I think he's a helpful player. Denny Avdia is like, I guess he's like legit good.
He's good. Why did Washington let him go, man?
Washington, right? I mean, Jeremy Grant stinks, but they know not to start him at this point. There are certainly some holes you can poke in this team, but I think Portland's going to be a good defensive team. Sharp, he's got to make his shots, which I don't think he's done just yet, but in theory, he's going to get there at some point. Klingon, he's a big boy on the inside.
He is what he is. He's not going to be a superstar in this league, but you're not going to get superstars once you get past like the 5th pick in the draft. You're probably not getting a superstar. You're hoping for a solid starter, at the very least, maybe a good rotation guy, and that's what he is: a good defensive rim protector, rebounder. He's solid. So yeah, it's not a bust of a pick because you can't expect it to be a star. But Dean, I'm getting a lot of DMs right now, man. I need to fight them off because I'm trying to do a show. But I'm getting a lot of DMs saying this is the NBA Grinders Live. We don't do movie Mondays on here.
We'll do it next Monday. I goofed. That's my bad. I apologize. It was a big boy slate. I was diving into a lot of stuff. I was reading a lot of stuff, and time caught up with me. I took a peek at the clock, and I told Steve, I totally forgot. I didn't do it. So my apologies. We'll make it work next time for sure. But yeah, we'll keep doing that. We'll keep giving away premium. That's just on me. My bad. Okay, but yeah, keep an eye on Boston and New Orleans. It'll be really curious to see with Boston, like if I don't want to say tanking out, they can absolutely get themselves a top lottery pick, and then all of a sudden have Tatum come back next year and be a juggernaut once again, and they could trade off Derek White. Really curious to see what Simons is another guy that's been in some trade rumors as well. But we'll see. The season just started. Keeping an eye on some stuff. Let's talk about the Raptors. The Raptors and the Spurs, 232.5 is the total. San Antonio is a 4.5-point favorite. Wemby, I don't know there's no adjectives left for this guy. He's just been absolutely insane, just incredible. And he probably still hasn't peaked. He's probably still not a complete player just yet. For San Antonio, no Louis Cornette. He's out. Kelly O, Jeremy Sohan, Lindy Waters, the third unavailable, as well as De'Aaron Fox. Pirtle is available for Toronto. He will be wearing a face mask. That's exciting. That's going to scare Wemby for sure. I know he's been dealing with that back as well. Otherwise, Toronto is fully healthy. Everybody's fully healthy. Everybody's fully priced for Toronto. I don't really like the Raptors. It's a big slate. You can always play Barnes or whatever, Ingram, if you want to play some of these guys. I don't think I'm getting there on Toronto. And Wemby, I just want Wemby. He's outrageous. He's incredible. I'm just going to pay it. And that's the plan, at least. Joker's in this slate, too. How do you feel about San Antonio and Toronto?
Pretty good. This is your best player on the slate, probably. At least the guy that has the most if you're going to put like odds on guys to score 70-plus DK points on a slate, Wemby's going to be, I think he's the new leader in this, in that category. In any slate he's on, over Luka, over Jokic, just the odds. Now, those guys could go for 80 or 90. I don't know that Wemby's going to do that, but he could be a steady 65-plus point guy every night just because of, his scoring is picked up this year. He's better at that. The rebounding he's a lock to double-double just about every game, double-double with the rebounds. And his block upside, man, 5+ is nothing for this guy. The way the Spurs play, I think you mentioned it earlier. They're top 5 in pace. They're also top 5 in defense. So they play with pace and they get back on defense. It creates a lot of helter-skelter, and he gets a lot of blocks from that. He's a monster, man. He's the guy I want to spend up for. So I have no problems with
He can triple-double with blocks, by the way. And that you never really know when that big game. He had 8, I think, last time. Chop on the season, it's 3 games. You want to guess fantasy points per minute? It's the same on DK and FanDuel. What would you guess?
2.5.
Well, 2.15.
Okay. Well,
By the way, producer Steve, shout out to producer Steve. He's giving away a week free of RG Premium in the chat if you just guess what he's having for dinner. So I see guesses coming on through. Hit that like button. Do subscribe. We go live.
You want to know what I'm having for dinner, Dean?
Barbecue.
Good guess. Tomorrow will be barbecue with the leftovers from tonight.
So it's barbecue tonight as well.
No.
Oh, you're gonna turn tonight's food into barbecue?
Tomorrow, yes.
What does it start? If it's not barbecue tonight, it's gonna be barbecue tomorrow. What does it start as tonight?
So 11 a.m. this morning Central Time. I cut my veggies up, put them in the slow cooker, and I put the nice fat roast in the slow cooker too. Spiced it up, all my sauces and seasonings. So I'm slow cooking the roast. So tonight we'll have veggies and roast. Tomorrow, the next day's roast, throw some coleslaw, some barbecue sauce on there, pull it apart. It's pulled pork. Boom, you got pulled pork tacos, or sliders.
It's well thought out. Now you got something to eat while you're watching The Voice.
Yeah. Have some roast and veggies tonight while I'm watching the Rockets. Monday Night Football tonight, watching the football game. And then tomorrow, some pork sliders while I watch.
Casey's a big favorite, right? 10, 11
10 and a half right now. 10 and a half.
No Daniels for Washington. Okay. And if you guys don't know, if you're not aware, Chop will be on later, breaking down the showdown slate. 7:30? Does that sound about right? 7:30 East Coast?
Sounds about right. Yeah. We go up until kickoff or, until the questions dry up. So we'll go until kickoff if you guys got enough questions.
So San Antonio, besides Wemby, what do we have here as far as ownership in this game? Yeah, 37% on DK, 11K on DK. I think he's 12-4 on FanDuel, that's a lot tougher to make work. You can make it work, but it's a lot tougher. You only have he is power forward available too, which is kind of funny. Power forward / center available on FanDuel, 24% over there, despite the price hike. Beyond Wemby, anybody else that kind of jumps out for us? Harper seems like a pretty fair price. He looks like he belongs. First couple games in, we saw Mamashkidashvili. Oh, is this a Mamashkidashvili revenge game? It is. It's a Mamashkidashvili revenge game. First blood. I believe it's first blood.
Good luck to him.
Yeah. He's a good fantasy player whenever he gets opportunity. He had it last time, I think, due to injury or was it foul trouble? I can't remember the reasoning why. But he's, of course, large field dart, blowout dart, that kind of thing. Beyond Wemby, you like anything?
Beyond Wemby, there's really nobody getting any ownership in this game. And so for Toronto, I definitely don't want anybody. I just, this is a good defensive team, and Wemby covers too much ground, and it's too tough to get your shots up. Castle's a really good on-ball defender, so not for Toronto. For San Antonio, against a weaker defensive team, you could go Dylan Harper and hope he takes on a little bit more of a scoring load, but that's what he is. He's a scorer by nature, so it's what you're hoping for. Otherwise, I don't know, man. If Stephen Castle can uptick his 33% three-point shooting, and if he has those games where he shoots pretty good from threes, he'll be good in those games. But that's what you're banking on with him. So, no, I think it's Wemby, man. I think it's Wemby for me, and you're not going to miss anybody else from this game.
I wanted to circle back on Detroit to see if anything was interesting as far as the minutes. Not really. Yeah, Chaz Lanier. I got to be honest. I don't know who Chaz Lanier is. I was looking at Chaz Lanier getting 10 minutes. I'm just looking at the players that all of a sudden are projected for stuff. Javonte Green, 17 minutes. Yeah, to me, it just feels like the Detroit starters are just not that they weren't solidified, but yeah, nothing really changing. 30 minutes to go around. Javonte Green, Lanier, and Jenkins are grabbing it, and I don't think that's anything that's of note. Okay. Next game we're talking about, it's OKC. It's the Thunder, defending champions, taking on the Mavericks, 226.5. That is the total. Dallas is a 10-point dog here. As far as who's in, who's out, the body parts we're monitoring. Daniel Gafford, I guess he's not officially out, but he's doubtful. He's got an ankle. I assume he's not playing. Derek Lively, the second, I assume he's also not playing. He's officially doubtful with his knee. Kyrie, obviously done for, well, if not the season, for the foreseeable future. Dante Exum also out for Dallas. OKC, Caruso is still not out of the concussion protocol, so he's out. Chet Holmgren is available. It's amazing how deep this team is. They're 6 through 10. It could be a decent team. You just find these guys, Aaron Wiggins and AJ Mitchell. They're legit good too when they get chances. Jalen Williams, we've not seen him play just yet all season long. The good Jalen Williams, he's still out with his wrists. Kenrich Williams, he's got that knee, but again, they still have plenty of dudes here for the Thunder. How do you feel about OKC and Dallas?
Interesting game, kind of not, because I would fully expect Dallas to kind of get run out of the building here, maybe, potentially. We'll see, though. But Shea's not getting much ownership, and he's very good. The problem is, can you afford him with Wemby? Because I don't see a path in which I don't have Wemby tonight on my solo roster. So I don't know. But, Shea's good because, well, yeah, I guess we'll see what Dallas does with their defensive matchups. I know Cooper Flagg has the ability to be a solid on-the-ball defender. I don't think that's going to bother Shai Gilgeous very much. In fact, it might be a good thing for him. He's going to be fine. And I don't see OKC. All those guys, I've said it before, Dean. I'll reiterate. You pick one because one of them is going to go off tonight. After Chet and Shai, somebody's going to go off. Now there's not as many to choose from, so you got the benefit tonight, whether it's Wallace or Wiggins or Mitchell or whoever.
Even Dort every once in a while, but yeah.
Every once in a while. One of them goes off every night. It's just you got to pick between the one out of 5 guys, but one of them goes off. So you can go that route and do all that. For the Dallas side, man, just a tough matchup, Dean. If you're gonna play more minutes for D'Angelo Russell at the point guard position because the Cooper Flag experiment at point guard is not very good, then maybe Russell can get hot. You know, OKC has it's the same team as last year, and last year, if they had one little blind spot in the defense, it was allowing some corner threes, a lot more corner threes because they just couldn't cover everything. Maybe Russell gets in the corner and buries some threes and pays off that cheap price tag, but otherwise, not really. Like, I mean, Anthony Davis could certainly get there, but again, he's 500. He's 500 less than SGA. Give me SGA in that one, and they're both right in the same neighborhood as Wemby. I would take Wemby over either one of those guys a lot. So it's just tough to get there with those price tags. And PJ was a nice little gift to us on opening night at 3K. Yeah. I'm not paying $5,900 for him right now.
Yeah, and he played a ton of minutes last time out. Davis will exclusively play the 5, I imagine, tonight, with their other bigs being out, which I guess is of note. Talking about under the assumption that Gafford and Lively are not going to play. I mean, they're not going to start Dwight Powell, I can't imagine. So Davis, I assume, will start at the 5. All right, 2 more games to go. Hit that like button, do subscribe, turn on those notifications. I don't think we're going to cover the FanDuel stuff. To be clear, Crunch Time we'll talk about FanDuel. The big thing with FanDuel is the Lakers. The Lakers are down to 10 professional basketball players. Professional, we're using that word. So a lot of injuries there. They're in the back half of a back-to-back. They lost 2 more dudes. Marcus Smart and Gabe Vincent got hurt last night. Austin Reeves dropped that, the 50 burger, and he's going to have a boatload of usage once again. We're currently projecting Reeves, Connect, LaRavia, Rui. Rui played like 40-plus minutes last night, and a revenge game for dominating for the Lakers. We're not going to really get into that, but Austin Reeves is just an incredible play on FanDuel. Okay, Phoenix and the Jazz, kind of a sneaky, interesting one. We'll see. 230.5 is the total. Utah is a slight favorite, a home favorite. Do they want to win? I'm not sure, but they have a chance. They have a chance to win here. Niang, the minivan, he's out tonight, as well as Shibwe, unavailable because I think he's in the G League. Yes. Isaiah Collier, also unavailable. He's got a hamstring. Dylan Brooks, this is kind of an interesting one. We're projecting him in. He's got a groin, but he's expected to play with that groin. Jalen Green, your old scraps there from Houston, still has yet to debut. I'm guessing you don't miss. Do you feel like you missed Jalen Green in Houston? Maybe.
Heck no, Dean. Miss Fred VanVleet, though.
Yeah, you missed Freddie for sure. Booker is the last man standing here in Phoenix. He's going to get all the usage in the world. It feels like a pretty interesting spot for Walker Kessler, who game in and game out has a pretty wide range of outcomes, but there's really no big man for Phoenix that's Oso is not intimidating. Mark Williams, more of an offensive guy than a defensive guy. Richards, I think this is a really interesting Walker Kessler spot for tournaments. Markkanen is kind of interesting to me too as well. I'm a little bit concerned with just Utah rotations, but they give those guys the right amount of minutes. I like Markkanen a little bit and Kessler a little bit. I think Kessler's really interesting for tournaments, and Booker can drop 40 and 10 assists. Like, he can do that here against Utah. Revenge for Grayson Allen? Sure, why not? Is he a vengeful guy? He seems like a vengeful guy. He might sweep the leg of Svi Mikhailiuk. You tell me. Suns, Jazz, what do you got?
There's a lot more ownership in this game than I would have thought. So you got to kind of dig in a little bit. The problem is here, I just don't like a lot of these guys. I mean, I just a lot of these Phoenix guys are just low ceiling guys typically, and I don't know that I want to play that on tonight's slate. Royce O'Neal is going to project well.
I hate that.
It's
also revenge for Royce O'Neal.
It is, but I mean, it's not first blood.
I don't think so.
And let me pull up his logs real quick against Utah to see if we missed anything good in those revenge.
He's got to hit like 3.
Actually, Dean, I don't want to be the one to say it. He's got some good numbers against Utah, but he's faced off against them quite a few times since he moved on. Yeah. But he's got some really good numbers, so I don't want to do it. But he's a low ceiling guy. Dylan Brooks, I mean, he's in a a better offensive spot for him right now with Phoenix, but another low ceiling guy. Colin Gillespie's a low ceiling guy. Grayson Allen's a low ceiling guy. They're all projecting fine, but I just don't like their ceiling. So I don't think I'm going that route with Phoenix. And I just don't like a lot from this game. You said Walker Kessler. I don't usually typically even have to look at like ceiling projections, because I kind of know what they're going. They just mirror projections, normal projections for them. The most part, just add on 7 or 8 points, whatever. Okay. But man, ceiling projections were made for a guy like Walker Kessler, who's typically not going to do particularly good, but does he have a hell of a ceiling when he gets it rolling? So he's definitely a guy that I could play. Would probably be my favorite player from this game if there was no injuries that happened.
I wanted to see, is Royce O'Neal still getting a fair bit? I feel like it's going to shake out, and once all the news comes in, he's going to kind of go to the side. But I know earlier in the day he was projecting as a guy hitting lineups. Let's see. I'm running like 100 here. Yes, he hit 33% of my DK lineups at 4-4 and projected for 25 fantasy points. But like, what is his upside? He's got to hit 3 or 4 threes and get 3 or 4 stocks. I guess he can do that. But I just think he's bad chalk. And that might change when news comes in. He's last season, Royce O'Neal, 0.89 fantasy points per minute. His usage is 15%. Just, he might weasel his way into a couple stocks here and there and a couple open threes, but I just think that's bad chalk. That's kind of where things land. And we'll talk about Minnesota in a second. Minnesota is the most popular team on the board as of right now with the Ant news. That's the next game. That is the hammer game for DK. Grayson, is there still meat on the Grayson Allen bone? He was another guy that's kind of worked his way up throughout the season. It's been too cheap. He's been too cheap. He's going to play 30-plus minutes here against Utah. Is it still something we're considering? 6K on DK and on FanDuel for Grayson Allen, we're talking about 5.2. That's, that seems like a really, really good price on FanDuel. I do like him more over there, obviously. Anything else of note for Utah and Phoenix before we move on and talk about Denver and Minnesota?
Moving on.
Okay, last game of the DK slate, it's Denver. Denver, Minnesota, 229.5 is a total. Denver is a 7-point favorite in Minnesota. And, the reason why Minnesota is popping is there's no Ant. Ant got hurt last night, is the back half of a back-to-back for the T-Wolves. He's going to be out, they said, for at least 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes down. He's dealing with a hamstring. Dillingham is available for what it's worth. Denver, I don't think Denver has anybody on the injury report. I think they're fully clean. Yeah, I don't see them. I'm looking at the reports, and I see nothing. So Denver is a full go. Highest projected player as far as points per dollar on the slate. If I sort it on lineup HQ as of right now, at least it was earlier. I don't think this has changed. Yeah, it's Dante DiVincenzo, who stunk earlier in the year when they said he's the starter. He's kicking out Mike Conley, who's old. But he had a bounce-back game where he's pretty decent. He's expected to start tonight, play 33 minutes in the absence of Ant. Of course, he's going to get some more usage thrown his way. Other players on Minnesota, we might get some more run out of Naz Reid, who's just hasn't quite got there just yet with minutes. Julius Randle, I guess, is the one that's really popping pretty good also. He looks, McDaniels is another guy, sort of a 3-and-D, but he'll be asked to do a little bit more. I don't know if I like Mike Conley, chalk E. We're giving him 23 minutes or so, and he's dirt cheap, 3.5. I don't know what his ceiling is these days. You feel like you're kind of begging for him to get to 25 points, which wouldn't hurt you, but is he going to make you? I don't know. I don't think so. And then, of course, in Denver, Aaron Gordon's been awesome to start the season, but Joker is the interesting pivot away from Wemby, which is just like everybody's going to want to play Wemby. He's the shiny new toy. Not new, but how do you feel about Denver, Minnesota? How much Minnesota is too much Minnesota, Chop? Because I see let's see. Hold on a second.
Lots of ownership on them.
It's really strange because I made some optimal stuff, and the first lineup has 3 or 4 guys in it for Minnesota. And the next lineup is none, which is weird. I added some weird variants. That's probably
Well, did you don't you use 60%? Don't you do your 60% stuff?
I capped it at 75, but I also added a lot of range of outcome stuff and team level randomness. I capped it at 75, and the one that's getting the most is DiVincenzo at 70%. Nobody's hitting the full cap. McDaniel's hitting 34% for Minnesota. Conley 22. Those are the top three T-Wolves. I'm kind of surprised Randall's only hitting 16. But, talk to me about Minnesota.
Well, you added a bunch of variants, Dean. Of course, you're not going to get the true opto, man. The true opto. True opto is going to spit out a lot of DiVincenzo. A lot less Randall, but still plenty of Randall. But Dante's getting a lot. So I can get behind that pick. I mean, a lot of shots are going to open up, and he's not shy of chucking the ball. So I'm fine with that. That can be an upside play. Mike Conley is a hard pass and will not make my roster. No chance. Always trips me out the way he's 20 plus projected on ownership and stuff like that, and hits the optimals. Man, no thanks, man. There's no upside there. So I'm going to pass on that. Julius Randle, very intriguing. He's the one Minnesota guy I would probably think about right now the most in my one lineup between him and DiVincenzo, but he's right there, man, because he has that upside too when he starts to go at it. And yeah, I like Randall quite a bit. Nas and Jaden McDaniels are fair, but but like you just mentioned with all the opto stuff, I don't want too many Minnesota people in here. 2 at the most for me in my lineup is enough. The rest, they're not all going to get there. So I would cap that at 2. Jokic is a fine pivot off of Wemby, but I would probably rather go Wemby. If Ant was playing and I knew this game could be like game 1 against Golden State for Denver, where you get, that close game all the way through, that one even hit overtime or whatever, then I could play Jokic more. Without Ant, I'd be a little bit fearful that they didn't need to press everything down here. Murray, no thanks. He usually only shows up in the playoffs, if that anymore. Not really worried about Aaron Gordon. If he's going to hit another 10 3-pointers and a half, he's fine, but he'll have those games like, once every 2 weeks or so, he'll have a really good game. The rest of the time, you're just chasing your own tail with him. So I don't want that. And Cameron Johnson,
11 from 3, is that's not repeatable? Yeah,
no.
Good for him.
Well, I mean, yeah, he'll repeat it at some point, but it just once every few months. But Cameron Johnson, nothing but a defensive specialist now with this team. He's not being asked to do much offensively, and he won't do very much, so he blends in. So I'm on the Minnesota side more, and I still want to cap him at like 2 players, and I think those 2 right now are Randall and DiVincenzo, and I'll maybe decide between the 2 of them, or maybe run them both in there. I don't know.
I think Cam Johnson's going to get some more shots up, but I still can't pay $6K for him. Like, I can't do that. That price has to adjust. I did run some more stuff. I lowered my variance a little bit. DiVincenzo is hitting my cap at 76%. Buzelis at 70%. Wemby 67%. Trey Jones. Did we get Bulls news? Did anything change? I don't think so, right? We didn't.
No,
as far as I know, Giddey is still projected in, but they still project well. Okay. We do have TastefulTides and Kirkdiese, as well as Kevin Roth coming in here momentarily. Chop, I don't know, did you dig into the FanDuel site? You said you're making one lineup tonight. You're playing FanDuel at all? I did touch on the Lakers. To me, are the most interesting piece. They have 10 bodies, and amongst those 10 bodies, Nick Smith, Christian Coloco, Bronny James, Chris Mannon. That's 4. That's 4 of the 10. Austin Reeves. They played last night. He's going to get an incredible amount of run tonight. Aiton's going to get a ton of run. Rui's going to get a ton of run. We saw LaRavia close because of all the injuries. Smart and Vincent both also gone. And there's Memphis and Golden State as well, which I don't really have any hot takes as far as that game. It might be interesting. Might be fun to watch. You have anything as far as the 2 late FanDuel games? Of course, crunch time. They're going to give their fair plays position by position for both sites. Did you dig into the last 2 games on FanDuel?
I definitely didn't dig into it, Dean. But I mean, the thing is you can see what Reeves is going to do without those guys on the court. We've already got a sample of that, more than a sample, because he can go back to last year. He's pretty awesome when these guys miss. So he's an easy plug and play on that one. Golden State is a no thank you this year, and they were last year, and I'm going to do the same thing this year. I don't like Golden State very much. The Portland side is interesting. You can go that route, and I'll tell you what, Dean, I like to get up in the morning and sign up for my contest, and I've been having some problems on FanDuel. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that, but it seems
Are you human?
Huh?
Are you human?
It's not that one. It's just like you go to the contest page and it's like blank, or it says something went wrong and you can't get in anything. And I'm like, I can't fight you guys. I'm trying to give you my money.
Take my money.
I'm not going to sit here and fight you for it. I refresh. 2-3 minutes is enough. If you ain't got the contest up by then, I'm out, man. So I didn't sign up, so I didn't really dig into it. But Austin Reeves is a plug and play at this point.
Yeah, the price has to adjust. The usage is outrageous. The role is outrageous. I think he's an awesome play on FanDuel, and the projections reflect. We should. Oh, Chop, you have plums coming on later tonight. Plums play for football. Do you have enough plums to go around? Do you have a plums play for basketball? How many plums can you delegate?
Let me tell you something about my plums. Nobody's ever accused me of not having juicy plums. I got plums for days. I'll give you plums.
Okay, yeah. What do you got?
I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
You got your own music for your plums?
But I'll go Derek White, and that's even without the news of Jaylen Brown. So I'll go Derek White here tonight. I think Derek White in this face-up spot. New Orleans is a little bit weaker than what I think they're a little bit weaker defensively. So let's get some Derek White in there.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance we lose Brown, and I don't know when that stuff gets announced. The NBA, you're not going to believe it, just still doing a terrible job with injury reporting and just kind of when news is coming in.
Adam Silver's addressing it pretty soon, Dean, he said.
Yeah, it's just like, it's been a problem. Manipulation with the not reporting and like kind of sort of knowing but not knowing, and then not necessarily saying. And they release the starting lineups a half hour before the game starts typically, and even then, not always. But the point is, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is Boston, New Orleans. That's Zion and Jaylen Brown, and we might be getting that news right at 7 o'clock, right at the bell, right at 7:30. And that leaves me staring at the 7 o'clock game, saying, "Well, how much do I want to commit to Cleveland and Detroit?" That looks like an interesting game for sure. There are some interesting pieces. VJ Edgecombe we did talk about. He might be still underpriced. Maxey, sure. One of the bigs for Philadelphia, if you want to throw a dart. I just don't know how much I'm going to commit because I think there is goodness potentially dropping later. But I'll tell you what's we have as far as goodness. I think, are we fully assembled for crunch time? We're still waiting for Kirkwood. Is Kirkdiese one of the guys in your DMs and he's still not? So he's watching the show and he's DMing you, but he can't jump into the bullpen, into the waiting room. Does he know what time he's supposed to be here? 4 minutes ago he's supposed to be here. Come on, Kirkwood. But
he has entered the studio, Dean. Relax, brother.
All right. Well, I didn't get the update. I didn't see the update. I don't get to see the behind the scenes. I don't know why. For some reason, I don't get that view. But let's do it. They are fully assembled. It's TastefulTides. It's Kevin Roth. And it is leader of Juggalo Nation. It's Kirkwood, Kirkdiese. Crunch time right now. What's up, Roth? How are things?
Things are good, man. I've been crushing so far this year, but I have not looked at a damn thing today. I've got a double beer poured in here, and we're just gonna construct on the fly. And I think we're taking down a GPP with that plan.
Monday's your beer day, right?
Monday's beer day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, it's time. It's time.
What are you drinking?
A little double Pacifico. It's my go-to.
That's the chalk.
Oh yeah. It's a 99% chance that's what it is.
All right. Chop, you got anything else before you step aside and get out of here? Before Kirkwood yells at me for reprimanding him?
Every time. It's every freaking time. Like, look in the bat. Like, it's not hard to see who's coming on.
No, it is. I actually don't have the ability. I cannot see. But Steve.
Well, when I've hosted shows and stuff, I've had the ability. I think there's a way.
You have it. I don't.
Yeah, why?
What do I tell you?
Yeah, why don't you have it?
I don't know.
Because you can't figure it out. That's why.
It's not. I don't have a StreamYard Premium or something. I'm not sure what it is.
boy.
I don't know why.
I didn't have this one. I didn't have this showdown on my bingo card today. You guys are squaring off.
And here we are. Here we are, right, Top?
This is the chalk, actually.
Crazy.
Me and Kirkwood bickering for a few minutes. Love you, Kirkwood. Tim, how are things? Everything good? You want anything you want to yell at me about?
No, I think we're good. I'm good, Dean.
Thank you. All right, Chop. Appreciate it. That was fun. We'll be doing this a lot going forward. It's going to be a long season. Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Turn on those notifications. Do all those things. Kirkwood, he has the Supercuts play of the day, the Tiny Hands Nation play of the day. All those plays available for the people. Tim, Roscoe is going to give you all a pick of the day as well. So lots to stick around for. You got 43 minutes until lock. Roth, take it away.
Good stuff. As always, welcome to it, ladies and gents. It's crunch time. You know the drill. Two of the sharpest minds in the industry helping to walk you through this slate here. Dean was pointing it out, and it kind of just occurred to me. You have so many bits, Kirkwood. You got, the Juggalo bombs. You've got the tiny hands play of the day. What else? What am I missing?
I don't know.
Supercuts.
Supercuts. Yeah.
Supercuts
I was the original creator of the fresh haircut narrative that people play better when they have a fresh haircut, new hair.
Yeah.
When you look good, you feel good. I created that on for DFS. And something.
Did you see the Jaylen Brown clip where?
Yes. Yeah, we don't have to go there. I tell everybody it's AI.
Oh man! Did you see this, Tides?
No, I don't think I have.
So he's got the sprayed on hairline, right? Because he's received. It's no crime in that. He's got the sprayed on hairline, and he's in a game, and he tries to go through kind of a double team, and he rubs his head on the defender's jersey, and he just smears his fake hairline all over the defender's jersey. It was phenomenal.
You know what the weirdest part is that he's had full braids for last year.
Yeah.
So something's gone funky. All of a sudden, I got to get to the bottom of it. It could be, and again, just looking at things, I think TastefulTides would be a good candidate for the lineup there too. And same with all of
he's
us.
got the Jude Law. He's just crushing the Jude Law look.
The Jude Law look.
Yeah.
I just watched a movie with him with Justin Bateman, a show on.
Yeah. I was
Netflix.
looking at that. Is it
you
good?
gotta see that? It's good. It's real good.
That is pretty good. What is that called again? I can't remember.
I forgot. That's how good it was.
Yeah, it is pretty good though.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, well, I know it'll be acted well. Those two guys are both great. Somebody let us know what it's called. Anyways, we got TastefulTides in the house as well. Tim, how are you? The booze, this is the ultimate sprayed on, painted on hairline. I remember watching it when it happened and just being like, what on earth? What is he doing?
Well, and you see it all over Twitter too. People advertise get doing it and everything on there.
Yeah.
I can't believe Jaylen Brown is. I got to get to the bottom of it and come back. There's got to be a reason, something.
Yeah, I mean, you got to come up with something better than that. Black Rabbit, by the way, is the name of the show. Thank you to Josh, Big God, and Mr. Gerg, who all dropped the name there in the chat. Guys, we are not here to talk about hairlines. Thank God. We're here to talk hoops. It's what we do. And hopefully you guys can guide me. It's my Monday. It's my party night. I'm just going to rage. I'm going to drink a lot of beers. Might do other things. Mostly, though, a lot of beers. And I'm going to watch some basketball.
Well, these other things got me thinking
It made it sound like I'm going to do a bunch of lines or something.
That's what I was thinking, hookers and blow. That's what I was thinking.
I was trying to pump the brakes on anything illegal, but by just doing it casting such a wide net, made it sound way worse than what it really is. Anyways, I'm going to have a good night, and I want to take down a tournament. So that's do some other things. Let's get into the content side of things. I have been good about building lineups every week and staying every week. It's been 1 week. But this is the first day. I have no idea what's going on. So Tides, give me a general rundown on this slate.
Yeah, so general rundown. I'll go over some of the news that we just got. Atlanta's fully healthy. Risa Shea's playing. Kristaps Porzingis is going to be playing. We did just get Zion out, so that's a pretty big one that we were waiting on pretty much all day. I think we were kind of expecting that. We have an if then for that. So it's definitely not like a huge surprise, but that is going to be opening up some things for the Pellies. The biggest piece that we're yet to figure out, which I think really does matter for overall construction on the slate, is Jaylen Brown. That would be big things for Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. So, that Jaylen Brown news, that game is an 8 Eastern game. I think that piece of news really does matter, because it matters, I think, what you do with Philly, because Philly's a 7 o'clock game. And right now I'm kind of leaning on fading Philly. But I think that comes with a little bit of risk, because there are a couple plays on there that I really, really do like. So that's like that's the biggest news piece that we're waiting on is Jaylen Brown. So it's definitely going to be interesting what we do there. And then another piece of news, it's kind of it's back and forth between what site you're using, between is Andre Drummond going to be starting for Philly or Adam Bona. I think that's a pretty interesting piece of information that we've yet to get, but we'll get that pretty soon. But I think that matters quite a bit. We currently have Andre Drummond projected to start. Other sites have Bona to start. But I think that's kind of important as well. So that's another piece of news that we're waiting on. Other than that, not a ton. FanDuel's an 11-game slate. DraftKings is 9. FanDuel added the Memphis Golden State game and the Portland Los Angeles game. So make sure when you're asking questions in chat, like if you're playing DK or FanDuel, because there really is a pretty big difference tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Also, of course, it's another Wemby slate. We've got some insider information from Filming on a Budget with Marcus D. Burris in the chat. I don't know who this is. This is the first time I've seen this name. He says, Wemby is a smoke screen. Fade Wemby tonight. Mafia projections. I don't know what any of this means, but it is a back-to-back, correct, for Wemby, which actually is a little like, are we a little alarmed, a little concerned, Kirkwood?
No, not me. He's playing so well. He's a young buck too, but and he's not in Zion shape, so I'm not too worried about it, because he's going to be playing back to backs. They said this year, and he's been not worried about it.
He's so good and he's so fun.
If he's taking a dive for the Mafia, that's a different story.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think so. I don't know if you saw the highlight where he like blocked a dude and then blocked the next dude and then got the ball, dribbled down the court, and just hit a logo 3, like Steph Curry style, like 7-5, and he's hitting logo 3s.
Well, here's the thing: is that one of the worst teams for giving up blocks last season was Toronto, and it's also their team identity where they play to the hoop. So he's going to have plenty of opportunities tonight to
got that 10 block.
Get that 10 block triple double.
Yeah, we want it so bad. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited. You have me hyped for it. Let's dive into it site by site. We like to start on FanDuel, and we go position by position. If you are new here, like Filming on a Budget with Marcus D. Burris, hit the thumbs up. That's all we ask. It's a free show, but if you hit the like button, then we get it out to more people and the show can stay free. So hit the like or take a hike. Don't really. You can still stick around, but you should hit the like button. Kirkwood, what are we doing? Point guard on FanDuel. What do you got?
All right. So it's going to take us to get fully up to speed. Zion news will be trickling in, so that might get a little bit different shortly. The slate.
I thought he was just out.
Yeah, he just got announced out, but so now everyone, you got to redo the projections, take him out.
Oh, the projections get. Oh, okay, I got you.
Because he was a midday downgrade.
Okay.
To Q tag. So
I think they're updated, Kirkwood.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So for right now, Dante DiVincenzo. It's a tough matchup with Denver, but with Anthony Edwards out, he's first of all, he's the starting point guard anyway, 5,200. Now they're going to need him to facilitate more and score more. Now efficiency might be a little bit of an issue against Denver, but I think he'll do just fine. So take the minutes at that salary. I think he's a smash play. The one you can fade, because I just don't think you're going to win a GPP with him. They played yesterday, right? Is that correct? Yep, they played yesterday. So Mike Conley on a back-to-back. He's only 3,500. So he's probably going to be okay in your lineups, but I just can't see you like absolutely needing him tonight to win anything. So
Right. He doesn't smash. He just kind of gets it done, right?
Yeah, like
Famous last
he's
words.
yeah. True. We've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Over here. I've been a just kind of get it done guy for a while now.
Okay, that's fine. That's more than I needed to know, but continue, please.
All right. Also, Dylan Harper has been awesome. I don't know if you've been watching for San Antonio. He's went 40. It was a great matchup for him yesterday against Brooklyn, and it was a blowout for most of it. And he ended up. It was actually a crazy game where they were absolutely blowing them out, and then they came back and tied it up and were actually down the Spurs, and then they still ended up covering. Like, it was just a really crazy game. But Dylan Harper looked
past the eye test for sure.
Yeah,
he looks like
you understand. Like he looks like the son of a good basketball player. Like,
yeah,
he looks like everything Bronny wants to be.
Yeah.
Josh Giddey. Do we have news on Giddey?
He's in.
He's in. Okay, so Josh Giddey's a fine play against Atlanta. There's a little worry about his finger, on his ring finger, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I guess a finger is a little scary. The guy who I really like that people aren't going to play, but I don't think they're going to play, is Keontae George. He's been awesome. The ball is always in his hands. There's just a lot of room for him to grow this season, and I don't think people have caught on to how good he is right now. So he's someone I like. Peyton Pritchard obviously gets a lot better. Devin Booker I love. I'm sorry, I was looking at DraftKings. Were we starting with DK or with FanDuel?
We're doing FanDuel.
Come on.
Okay,
Now.
they're all going to be the same play, so I totally botched that. I totally botched that up. If that was the case, who did I mess up, Tim? Who's not a good play?
No, you haven't messed up anything. It's all been completely fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and my favorite play. God, I almost forgot. Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
And I wrote him up too. I tagged him as a core play today. I mean, first of all, the eye test he's already passed. We've known that, but he looks like he's like taking another level. And Embiid is just when he is playing, in the limited minutes he's playing, just looks horrible. But Embiid being out is perfect for him tonight. And he played 41 and 42 minutes already. So this is like just his minute ceiling is just ridiculous. So you get massive usage with Embiid out, him running the team anyway. You get the minutes. It's a tough matchup a little bit, but I think he'll be fine. Orlando's playing a lot faster this year, so it's not the same old Orlando where they were slowing it down. They're trying to push the pace. Their defense is good for sure, but Maxey is one of the top studs tonight. And then the ones to take flyers on, Derek White will become an awesome play if Jaylen Brown's out. He's a good play as it is right now. And then the last, D'Angelo Russell, tough match against OKC, got a bunch of minutes finally in the last one, earned some more minutes, I would say, with his 46 fantasy point performance. He may start too, so I don't mind that, but I'll let Tim take it away.
Okay. Tim, by the way, for the first time ever, I'm trying to build lineups on my computer instead of my phone, and it is the worst freaking experience of my life. I accidentally signed up for some tournament that only has 5 games in it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Tim, help me out and tell us what we're supposed to do at point guard.
Yeah, I prefer building on my phone as well. I only make like 3 teams at most, but I just hand build them around my phone. I can't stand using the computer. Yeah. But anyway, Dante DiVincenzo, he's definitely going to be he's like a core piece today. Definitely going to be like a cash game guy. He's point guard, shooting guard. I would be getting way overweight him on FanDuel and on DK, but we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, he's 5,100. Absolute amazing play. I do think this Tyrese Maxey situation is like a key decision point in the slate because like he is obviously a fantastic play. He's going to play big minutes, but if we get Jaylen Brown out, do we want to take up a point guard spot when we know Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, in my opinion, are better points per dollar plays, or do we just jam in all three? I think that's kind of like an important thing or important decision to make this evening, because I completely agree with Kirkwood. Like Maxey is awesome, and I think that he is going to be a really strong play today. But I just don't know if I rate him higher than Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. Bona is starting for Philly too, so I think that's a downgrade to Drummond, and that's maybe a slight upgrade to Bona. So I'm not surprised by that. I think that was kind of a coin flip decision. So I think we'll talk about center here.
I think the minutes are going to be pretty coin flip too. Like it's
yeah.
They're going to maybe Drummond gets a few less, but they're going to probably split the minutes mostly.
So can I ask real quick? I know that when Drummond is out there, if he gets 20 minutes, he can sure as hell get it done. What about this Bona character? Is he like a high points per minute guy like Drummond is?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's. Go ahead.
Well, he had this so far. He's been horrible, but we've seen him in last season. He was a pretty good point per minute guy. I wouldn't worry about what he's looked like so far. I think he'll be fine. But the thing with Drummond has looked really good so far too. So I kind of lean Drummond anyway. I think.
Okay.
And it may be a past bias with him, but.
All right. We're not there yet anyways. I was just curious if this character is playable. Tim, I think
he's definitely playable. Yeah. Like he's 100% playable. They both probably are.
All right. We're running a little tardy. I think we're at shooting guard, maybe.
Oh, I can move to shooting guard if you want me to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless there's something else you want to say at point.
So FanDuel, huge difference here. FanDuel, Lakers, Austin Reeves, another absolute cash game cornerstone piece. Absolutely, really, really strong play today. VJ Edgecombe, 6K. Same kind of thing with the whole Tyrese Maxey situation. Like again, do we want to wait on this Jaylen Brown news and possibly take up one of these shooting guard spots when Derek White is going to be a way better play? But I mean, Edgecombe is totally fine in GPPs.
Fine? He's like it's 6K.
Yeah, I mean,
he's damn near a must play, isn't he? Like.
I don't know if he's a must play, but I mean he's a really, really strong play at 6K. Yeah. I mean he's a very strong play. We didn't even talk about Devin Booker yet either. I could have talked about him at point guard. He's 8'8", so I really like him a ton. We've already talked about DiVincenzo. I like Kirkwood's call a lot on Keontae George. I think that's a really strong GPP play. Trey Jones at 5,800. That's just like That's a really good game environment. So I think 5,800 is a decent price tag for him. Really though, I was kind of hoping that Reed Shepherd would start for Houston, but I guess he's still not going to be starting. But I think he is like a really interesting large field cheapy dart throw that I think is in a pretty good spot here. So, I think, at 4,700, he's not horrible at, if you just want to punt one of your shooting guard spots. Oh, and Quentin Grimes is dirt cheap on FanDuel. He's 4,800. That's a really, really strong play on the FanDuel side, just because he's too cheap for his upside.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Kirkwood, your thoughts at shooting guard, please.
Yeah. So for FanDuel, we get Austin Reeves, who just had a massive, massive game. They're going to be rough. But if this game is competitive, he should absolutely smash, even though his price tag is high for what we're normally seeing, 8,500. But he deserves it. Edgecombe, like you guys said, he's an awesome play. He's one of the best plays. So be confident playing him, Roth. Yeah. Dante DiVincenzo again is also he's shooting guard or point guard eligible. Grayson Allen is going to see a ton of minutes. And looks pretty solid this year. And he's just so cheap at 5,200. And Tim mentioned Devin Booker, Derek White. Derek White is a good play, period. He's going to be an even better play if Jaylen Brown's out. But you can absolutely, he's like a top 5 play anyway. So at the shooting guard position, right there. Quentin Grimes, like Tim said, Dylan Harper, like I was touting before. And I don't know. Jaylen Brown, if he does play, is kind of interesting to me. Even though the Celtics stink, he's like their entire usage and is just going to do everything he can if he's good to go. And he's going to be a true game time decision right now. So it makes me think he's going to play, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Small forward.
All right. Small forward. We've got Austin Reeves is small forward eligible again. Edgecombe is small forward eligible. Grayson Allen. So for some new guys that I haven't touched on, Lauri Markkanen. Phoenix was awful on the defensive end last season and is worse this season, I would say. Looks like that, at least to me. So Lauri Markkanen, he and Keontae are like the two Jazz plays that I like a lot tonight. We can play matzo balls. You know who matzo balls is, Roth?
No, just based on how many Jewish ex-girlfriends I have and eating matzo ball soup, is the player Jewish?
The player's name is Matas Bazelis. And 5,900.
I take that back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I take that back. It's not even close. It's not even close.
Don't think he's Jewish, but
yeah, no, he's not.
You never know. So here's another one. David Kaplan. You see a guy's name is David Kaplan. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't want to play this game anymore, if I'm being honest.
No, you think he's a Jew. You think he's Jewish, right? David Kaplan?
I would. My name is Roth, so you would think I would be Jewish with the name like Roth. It turns out I'm not. But no, is Cap? I don't know. I don't want to play this game. Can we continue, please?
All right.
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
Gotta have a little fun. So anyway, Matas Bazelis for the Bulls had a rough game. It's a good bounce back spot. He's seen a bunch
Is
of
that Shop? Is David Kaplan Shop?
Yes, it is. But for instance, that's a very Jewish name. All right, I don't know. Lost Roth. We lost Roth.
I'm sweating. All right, just continue without me.
Who cares? Let's talk. Let's just do some jokes. Jake LaRavia, did I say him? The Lakers just don't have with Luka out and a bunch of people out. They're just need aim at 4,200. He's going to see decent amount of minutes, 30 plus probably. It's hard to go wrong with that. He can win. He can win you some tournaments if he's shooting well. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Tides, small forward. What do you got for me?
Yeah, so definitely, like we already talked about Reeves. He's either going to be in your shooting guard or your small forward. We already talked about Edgecombe. Buzelis at 5,900, obviously fantastic. Grayson Allen, again, another one of these cheap players here that we can get to on FanDuel. Royce O'Neal, 4,100. Royce O'Neal. He's going to be kind of popular, but I think he's fine if you're looking for like a value piece. Trey Murphy, with the Zion news at 7,600. I think he's a strong play for GPPs. And then another just kind of GPP pivot. He's going to be like 5%, I think, on FanDuel. Paulo Banchero at 8,700. Just like a different, way to maybe get like a run back here if you're playing some of these Philly pieces. Do a little game stack. It's going to be, I think, a really contrarian, and I think he's got a ton of upside.
Yeah. Can I ask a probably unrelated question as I'm building my lineups? Keyshawn George. I'm looking his first game, 44 fantasy points. Next game, 66. Next game, 22. If I play this dude, am I getting 40 to 60 or am I getting 22? Tides, what happened there?
Well, I mean, he's just got a wide range of outcomes, which is what you're looking for in a GPP. You're playing on DK, right?
I am.
Roth? Yeah. So he's 6,500 on DK. Like, I mean, I think it's a strong play in GPPs.
Okay. All right.
I don't have a problem with it at all.
Click. Thank you. All right, let's go to power forward. What do we got there? And I think
Keontae, George?
No, wasn't it? Was it Keyshawn or was it Keontae? It's how many Georges are there? Keyshawn.
There's, hold on.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of the Washington guy, Kevin.
It's Keontae.
You're looking for Keontae, Kevin.
No, I'm literally clicking Keyshawn George. Am I on drugs? I'm not yet. Keyshawn George had 45 fantasy points, then 66 fantasy points, then 22 fantasy points. Am I crazy or are you guys crazy?
The guy that I recommended, Keontae George, had 31 fantasy points, 34 fantasy points, 34 fantasy points.
Okay. All right. I'm just.
Whatever you want.
He says, Kevin is having a brutal show. I am. It's rough. It's rough going out in these streets. I am just going to stop talking. We're going to keep rolling. I'm just going to take us to power forward, and we're going to pretend everything that I've said is accurate still. That's all.
Yeah, so power forward, you're definitely playing Wemby tonight. I don't care that he's 12-4. Like, I mean, he's got such elite upside here. He's such a huge stocks guy too, so that's even better on FanDuel. So it's 12-4. He's gonna be popular, but I don't really care. Like, he's just such a amazing, awesome source of raw points. So definitely play Wemby tonight. Julius Randle at 7K. I think he's just another really smash play with no Anthony Edwards. So those could be like your two like pay up core pieces at the position. Again, I talked about Paulo Banchero as a value piece, or excuse me, as a contrarian pay up speed piece. Buzelis at 5,900 is a pretty strong play. We talked about a small forward.
Matzo balls. You got to coin it. You got to say matzo balls.
I don't.
Yeah. And then, I don't really see any like power forward only, value pieces that I would get to. Maybe a Jaden McDaniels, something like that. But really, I think that's it for me. Maybe a Nas Reed as well.
Yes.
All right. So update. Here's what happened. Here, remember I said for the first time ever, I'm trying.
You're
to
on your
build
computer.
lineups.
You're looking at the NBA projections, and you didn't hit refresh to update for the new set, and you searched.
No, it's way worse. I signed up for a tournament that's tomorrow. So
oh, nice. They have the salaries out already. That's nice.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm building this lineup for tomorrow, which is why I was like, how did I even find a 5-game freaking tournament? I have somehow signed up for tomorrow's tournament, which is why I'm talking about players that aren't playing, and I'm so confused. And I'm never going to enter on my computer again. But hey, at least we figured out what's going wrong. Kirkwood, what do you got to power forward for me?
Wait till if you ever get the pleasure of max entering and uploading your CSV with 5 minutes to go, and it doesn't take it for some reason. It says error, and you have to try to figure out what the hell you did wrong.
1 to 3 lineups is more than enough for me. What do we got to power forward, Kirkwood?
It's the same stuff. So Victor Wembanyama, center or power forward, you just play this dude. Like 70 fantasy points right there. Yes, back-to-back could be a little scary, but this matchup is just so good for him. So all about him. Julius Randle, I wrote him up and tagged him today for his play against Denver. I said that I can't guarantee efficiency in this matchup, but I can guarantee you usage. Like his with Anthony Edwards, Julius is just going to be chucking. That's just what he does. And he thinks he's a good 3-point shooter. They're going to need him a ton on the boards. Just a good play. Evan Mobley is always a good play. Jaren Jackson Jr. always a good play on FanDuel. Lauri Markkanen, I already said I liked. I said matzo balls. I liked. Oscar Thompson is tougher matchup, but could be in play here. And then like Jaden McDaniels is a guy who can load up the stat sheet, especially with Ant out. So like that.
All right. We get to go to center. What are we doing there on however many games there are on this slate?
Wemby, if you need him there. DeAndre Ayton, going to be the number 2 option for the Lakers offense. He's 5,700. You can play Wemby at power forward. So I haven't even toyed around playing, but is it? No, you can't. I would love to see what a Wemby plus Joker lineup looked like if you can make that happen. Probably can't do it. They're so expensive, both of them. But Ayton is cheap. Looks pretty good actually this season. So I'm on board with him. Jalen Duren, tough matchup against Cleveland, but he can go off at any time. You could play Gobert. 5,600 is is so low that if he has a good rebounding game, you could, and he doesn't get in foul trouble, he could be fine. But then there's Bona and Drummond. I think they're both fine plays. I wouldn't play them both together, but I think they're both fine plays. I think they're going to split minutes for the most part, but Bona might get a few more because he's starting, or if Drummond's out, if Bona's not playing too well and Drummond's out playing him, he'll get more. So it'll kind of be the hot hand effect. But they're both so cheap and could be a good source of rebounding and blocks. FanDuel, so like that, and also like Tim's Nasreed call.
Yeah. Okay, Tim, your thoughts at the center spot?
Yeah, so obviously DeAndre Ayton's going to be like the optimal guy if you're playing cash on FanDuel. He's probably the guy over there. I'm glad Kirkwood mentioned Duren and Gobert. I was gonna mention both those guys. They're both projected right around Ayton and are going to be really much lower, pretty lower owned here. Like Gobert's looking at like 7%, whereas Ayton's going to be 20. Duren's going to be around 14. So you get a pretty nice ownership discount off of Ayton. And I think they're both pretty strong plays. So if you want to pivot to one of those two guys over Ayton, I really like that. Maybe, somebody in the mid range that you can consider is like a Nikola Vucevic at 8-1, Şengün at 9-6, again, just to be a little bit contrarian, but mostly builds are going to send you into the direction of DeAndre Ayton, and so you can go Ayton, Duren, or Gobert there.
Yeah. Okay. Very good, guys. We are kind of running out of time. We got to kick it right to DK and get on our horses and get after it. Tides, what are you doing at point guard on DraftKings?
Yeah, so we are still waiting on this Jaylen Brown news. So that whole Tyrese Maxey situation that I talked about on FanDuel pretty much applies the same way as on DraftKings. I'm not saying Tyrese Maxey isn't a great play. He absolutely is. It's just a little bit harder. Same thing with Devin Booker at 8-9. Derek White is already projecting as a fantastic play. And if Brown misses, he would go basically to the moon, and he would be a core play, certainly over one of Maxey and Booker. Like you're going to be playing White and Maxey, or White and Booker. So it's definitely keep an eye out on that. DiVincenzo, you can play him at point guard or shooting guard, but again, same thing applies. He's an absolute smash core piece tonight. Peyton Pritchard, he's already projecting well, and if Jaylen Brown misses again, he would be a fantastic play. So there's just a lot of really, really good guard plays here. Kirkwood mentioned Dylan Harper on FanDuel. I think he's a strong play, and I don't mind. Again, I talked about Trey Jones just because I really like this game environment. So I think he's a decent salary saving option if you're looking for like a contrarian piece. And D'Angelo Russell, same at 4,900.
Okay, very good. Kirkwood, your thoughts at point?
There are so many plays here that I like, but you have a chance tonight to get not only the MVP, but Dean's favorite underwear commercial star, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for probably less than 10% ownership, maybe even somewhere around 5, 6, 7% ownership on this slate. So that is in a game that could be pretty good against Dallas, especially with they're missing two centers tonight, so they're going to have AD manning the paint, but AD is also not going to be wanting to get in foul trouble in either, and so Shai could absolutely cook. Dante DiVincenzo, Tyrese Maxey, I love. If you're worried about you want to wait, I would just play Tyrese personally, but because I think he's just a really good play no matter what. Devin Booker is there. Derek White becomes a much better play. He's not as good of a, he's a little more expensive here, I think, on DK, but 8K is certainly fine if Jaylen Brown's out. Fine anyway, but and Jordan Poole with Zion out will probably look to shoot a lot more. Amen Thompson against Brooklyn. This is insane. If they can keep this game close, like what a matchup it is for Amen Thompson to just do some of everything in this game. So like that. I like Keontae, not Keyshawn George. Like I said, at 6,500, and yeah, that's about. I mean, there's just so many plays here. Like you can get crazy, and you can get like they're going to probably play Bones Highland minutes. So he's only 3,100 in Minnesota, and they've been talking him up and talking about him just scoring and playing some D, and so he's 3,100 and might get more minutes than we're anticipating.
Yeah. All right. Shooting guard, Kirkwood.
All right. Again, DiVincenzo, Giddey, I think is fine. Edgecombe is good. Jordan Poole again. Grayson Allen again. These are all good, solid plays. Jaylen Brown at 85. If he does give it a go, 8,500 is certainly playable for him. Here, Dylan Harper, like I said, Peyton Pritchard. I mean, it's pretty strong on both sides here. Yeah. Shooting guard and point guard.
Tides?
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh Giddey is a really strong GPP play. You know, we've been waiting on his news on him all day. He's going to be playing. So I bet that brought his ownership down, and I think in an amazing game environment. So I do like him. All the other guys that we've already mentioned, though, obviously VJ Edgecombe, Dante DiVincenzo, fantastic like core pieces. Peyton Pritchard already races a really good play. Again, we're waiting on that Jaylen Brown news. You know, Cam Thomas, I mean, it's a really, really ugly game for them, but he always has a ceiling. So I don't mind Cam Thomas. I don't mind Trey Murphy either with Zion out. So I think Trey Murphy's another really strong play today.
Yeah. Okay. Small forward.
Yeah, so small forward, yeah, like I just talked about Trey Murphy, you can play him over there as well. Same thing with Edgecombe. Yeah, Asar Thompson at 6,200, I think he's okay. Dylan Brooks, he's questionable, but I think he's an okay play for GPPs. Royce O'Neal at 4,400. You know, he's an interesting value piece that I think he's going to be kind of popular today, but I really like that price tag. So Royce O'Neal is a strong play. Herbert Jones at 5,600 should play pretty big minutes tonight. You know, I think he's a pretty strong play with Zion out. But this doesn't seem like a great pay up position. I think you're going to be saving at small forward on DK.
Yeah. Okay. Kirkwood, your thoughts at small forward?
Yeah, I think Trey Murphy is one of the best plays at the position. Lauri Markkanen is a pretty solid play. Edgecombe. If you need to save a little money, I mentioned Jaden McDaniels before. Jaden McDaniels. Oscar Thompson is cheaper here on DK and 6,200. I don't mind that. Herb Jones again, I like. And you know what? I think I've been high on Jabari Smith this year. I've drank the Kool-Aid in the offseason and everything, and he hasn't quite performed yet to expectations. But a matchup with Brooklyn, and he's going to be, you know, relatively unowned tonight. He's going to be like 5 or 6% or somewhere like that. I really think that he can get. You know, I think big games are in his future.
Yeah. Okay. Power forward.
Julius Randle is my favorite play. Matzo Balls is in play again at 5,300 over here on DK. That's a really solid price. He's one of the best plays for the price here. Paolo Banchero. They're just playing faster, so he's going to start having, you know, these Orlando guys are going to have bigger games this season. They're embracing more analytics. They're playing faster.
Brown is in. Pump the brakes. Yeah. At least according to
Brown is in.
That's what I thought. I feel like they would have already known. Anthony Davis. So center Anthony Davis is better than power forward Anthony Davis because there's much more rebound upside that he would let go before. So he's only 10K on DraftKings. He's too expensive over on FanDuel, so it's really tough to play him. But On DraftKings, he's good. So, and I think you could really, like if you could make a lineup with Shea and Anthony Davis and just hope this game is really competitive and goes off, I think that's a pretty solid way to do it. Tough to fit them both, but it can be done. So I like that. Chet Holmgren, I like. Jalen Johnson, he's in, right?
Yeah, everybody was healthy for that team.
Okay, so Jalen Johnson, I like. No one's going to play him. That's it.
Okay, Tides, your thoughts of power forward?
Yeah, so power forward. Yeah, so Julius Randle, he should definitely. I mean, he's a really, really strong play today. He's projected for 35 minutes. Should really excel in that matchup with no Anthony Edwards. So he's first piece in. Buzelis is probably your next guy in at 5,300. Really, really great game environment there. I talked about Naz Reid on FanDuel, like him on DK as well at 5K. Herb Jones again at 56. Really like that value piece. Talked about Banchero on FanDuel. Same thing kind of applies for me on DK. He's going to go extremely low owns. And I think at 8,300, I mean, I know that they have Desmond Bain now, and I know they have a lot of different, some different players there now, but I do like that price tag, and I like his ownership. Got some questions in chat about AD with the two other bigs for Dallas out. Yeah, I mean, I think he's fine. I don't know if I can necessarily pay that price tag, but I do think it's an okay play in GPPs.
Is there a different center on Dallas who is going to get that, 20 minutes, who's 3K and never plays, and now he's about to get gifted 22 minutes?
We went up. I mean, we gave Dwight Powell a little bit more, but I don't think there's really going to be that guy that you're thinking of. Like somebody, I don't think there's going to be a DFS relevant cheapie.
Okay.
If that's what you're searching for.
Kind of.
I know.
Cooper Flag, does it help him? Maybe. I know he's like kind of point, but not really.
I don't think it necessarily helps him that much. I'm not saying he's a bad play though. I mean, he's 6,900 now, so I mean, I think he's okay, but I don't think that news affects him really.
Yeah. Okay. Run me to center. What are your favorite plays there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be Wemby. This is the reason why I don't really want to pay 10K for Wemby, is because I'm going to be paying 11K for Wemby. So I think that's just, it's kind of hard to play both those guys.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, so he's definitely the guy tonight. If you want to play Bona, I think that's okay. Or Drummond, I think that's okay as well. Also, but. Those would be like the two cheap centers if you wanted to go double center tonight. I think that would be, go Wemby and one of those Philly guys if you want to. But really, I think that's it. And then, if you're building out a 150 set or a 20 max set, if you want to play Jokic just as a pivot off of Wemby, I think that's okay. Just get a little sprinkled. He's $500 more than Wemby, and nobody's going to play him.
Yeah. Okay. Kirkwood, thoughts at center. We are seconds until lock.
All right. Everyone, he's already said, maybe if you didn't mention Walker Kessler or Sengun for GPPs, I think those guys are really strong, like lower owned plays. Anytime you can get Sengun Roth at low owned, especially in a matchup against Brooklyn, if it stays close for some reason.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've hit the lock. I'll tell you, that was a fabulous show. Personally, I thought I really nailed that one.
I think we all did. And
yeah, I think we were really Tides is the only one who held it together. Excellent stuff. Generally, I'm good enough to get to your questions, but instead I just screwed everything up and talked about how bad I screwed things up and we didn't even get to questions. So that's on me. We will run it back tomorrow and we will be better about it. I promise you that. Hit the thumbs up before you bounce. And I want to make sure that you're getting the best deal in the industry, which is I just got the ad read. I just got the gift that was put in there. Well done. I don't know. Do I even have the reads? Yeah, I gotta pull up my email. Don't go anywhere. Hang out. If you hang out for another 30 seconds, I deserve Yeah, there should have been more of those throughout the show, for being honest. The fact that that was the first of those is the real crime here. Hey, I want to make sure that you're getting our 3-day pass for limited time. Half off a 3-day NFL pass. Get access to everything you need to crush the slate. HQ, player projections, ownership projections, all that. SimLabs, NFL, $9.99. Like, oh, I don't want to pay for projections. $9.99. You can win a GPP. It's easy. $9.99 3-day pass. Make sure you do it. For Kirkwood, for Tim, for the production crew, always behind the scenes. As we appreciate you, we love you, and we will catch you tomorrow.